Hi guys, I'm Lisa and welcome to Gentle Yoga today. So for today's practice, we're just really going to try and forget about time. So if you're like me at all, I was always the type of person that I would wear a watch all the time and I'd always be looking at my watch. I still wear a watch, but this is for fitness instead of time. Anyway, I would always be looking at my watch, moving on to the next thing, always in a rush. And I would even wear it to bed at night. And if I woke up in the middle of the night, I'd look at my watch to see what time it was and, just constantly rushing and thinking about all the things that I had to do in that day. So today we're going to try and put that time aside, take this time for yourself, and just not have that ticking of the clock running through your mind. So grab onto one block. That's all you'll need for today's practice. And let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start out in a restorative bridge pose. Grab onto that block and place it underneath of your sacrum. So I take mine up so that it supports the lower back too, just so I don't have that feeling like I'm trying to grip or hold on too much or strain through the lower back. Turn your palms to face up. Let your upper body relax down onto the ground. And then let the sides of your body, the sides of your lower back, soften against the block. And take a breath in through the nose. And just gently exhale that breath out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Begin to lengthen and deepen that breath. Starting that breath in your belly, rising up to your ribs and the back of your throat. And then exhale that breath out from the throat to the ribs to the belly. Inhale, continue deepening, lengthening that breath, starting from your belly, lifting up through the rib cage, and rising up to your throat. And then exhale that breath out. Letting your rib cage contract and your belly soften. So take a few more rounds just like that and just noticing that when we take the time to be present with the breath, it really brings us to this moment right now. Not worried about anything else that's going on. Just concentrating on yourself and breathing in as deeply as you can, exhaling as completely as you can. And take one more round of breath. And then walk your hands in closer by your sides. Rotate your palms to face down. So we're going to lift up into bridge pose here, pressing into your feet. Take an inhale and exhale, lift your hips up. And we're going to see if we can find that same spot on the block as we lower back down. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze your thighs as you lift up. And lower down. So let's do one more just like that. Take a breath in. And exhale, lift. So squeeze your glutes, press your knees forward, and then lower back down. Finding that same spot, resting your sacrum, your lower back on your block, and then draw your knees in. So we're not going to draw the knees in too close because we want to keep our balance here. Just bring your hands to the tops of your knees. Pull the navel back to the spine. And then release your hands back down. Let your shoulder blades come down to the mat. Feet come back down. And we lift back up into bridge pose. Lift up, squeeze. Lower down. And then draw your knees in. Let's do that 2 more times. Bring the knees down. Press your shoulder blades back and lift. And then lower down. Hands to the knees as you draw your knees in. Press your lower back into that block. And one more time. Lift up. And lower down. And draw your knees in. So we're going to keep that left knee in. If you want to wrap your hands underneath of that knee, extend your right leg long. So if this is too much, lift your leg up a little bit higher if it's too much for your back, and then flex that right foot. So feel the stretch here all the way from that heel, that right heel, all the way down to your hamstring and even into that right hip. So think about that deep breathing we did at the beginning. Take a deep breath in. And exhale that breath out. And then let's switch to the other side. Extend your left leg long. Flex your left foot. And if this feels like too much straining, take your leg up a little bit higher. Release any tension through the neck. And soften the muscles of your face. And then bend that left knee. Bring your hands to the top. And we're just going to draw circles around here, little circles. Just letting your back roll against that block, side to side. And reverse. Just take your time. And then bring the soles of your feet back down to the mat. Press into your feet as you lift your hips up. And set that block off to the side. Extend your arms out by your sides. And let's lower the knees to the left. And turn your head to the right and anchor down through your shoulders. And let your belly, your abdomen soften here. Soften into the stretch on the right side of the body. And then draw your knees back up to center. And let's go over to the other side. Turn your head away from your knees. And see if you can lengthen your arms out as you press your triceps and your shoulders down to the ground. And then completely roll onto your right side. And use your hands to lift you up, coming to a comfortable seat. So we root down through the sits bones, reach up through the crown of the head. Bring your hands to rest in your lap, and we start with this left wrist. So you're going to lift this arm up and just do some wrist circles around. And just loosening up through that wrist, through the forearm, and then reverse. And then extend that arm out in front, so right at about shoulder height. Palm faces down and separate your fingers here so that you can feel these little stretches in between the webbing of your fingers. And then draw your shoulder back. Keep pulling your belly up and in. And then flip your palm to face up. And then open that arm out to the side. Keep drawing your shoulder back and lifting up tall. And then inhale, reach your arm up, and exhale over. So bring your other hand down for support. Keep wrapping that top shoulder back. And then lift back up, palm faces up as you extend that arm out. Draw your shoulder back. Take that hand to the front. And then turn your palm down. And then exhale, release it down. So let's do that 2 more times on that side. Lift the left arm up. Flip the palm and draw the shoulder back. Squeeze your arm, your shoulder, widen through the collarbone as you come out to the side. And then inhale, lift up tall, and exhale, lean. Use the sides of your waist to help lift you back up. Open that arm back out to the side. Bring it back to the front. Turn your palm down and exhale, release. So 1 more time on this side. Lift the arm up. Flip your palm. Draw the shoulder back and then open up. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale over. Rotating your ribs. So turning your bottom ribs towards your top ribs as you lift up. And then squeeze to press up, arm comes out to the side. Bring it to the front. Palm down and lower down. And then roll that wrist out again. A little bit of relief here. And just go both ways with that wrist. All right, so let's switch over to the other side. So bringing the right arm up and doing those wrist rolls. And reverse, and again, just taking your time. It's all about the time today, or not about the time, just taking your time. And then extend that arm to the front. Palm faces down. Root down through the sits bones even more if you can. Flip the palm up and draw your shoulder back. So you might notice a difference here side to side depending on your dominant arm, your dominant hand. Might feel a little bit strange on the non-dominant. Open up to the side. Draw your shoulder back. Lift your chest up. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale over. And then lift back up. Take that arm to the front. Palm turns to face down. And exhale, lower. 2 more times, lift it up. Palm turns up. Draw the shoulder back. Open out to the side. Now big breath in here, reach as tall as you can, and then exhale over. So breathe into that stretch on that right side, lengthening from your hip all the way up to your fingertips. Lift back up. And bring it around to the front. Palm down. And exhale. Last time here, inhale, lift up. Flip your palm. Push it back. And then open out to the side. Inhale, lift, and exhale. And then lift back up. Draw the shoulder back. Bring it around to the front. Palm down. And exhale, lower. So roll it out here. Just going both ways. Take your time. Make sure you're breathing in and out as smoothly and deeply as you can. It's hard to roll your non-dominant hand here. Okay. So let's inhale, lift up. And exhale. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. And let's come into table. So taking a few rounds here of cat-cow, separate your hips, your knees to about hips width, and separate your fingers. Take an inhale, drop the belly down, pull the tailbone up. So lift chest up, chin up, widen through the sits bones, and then exhale, round. Take a few more rounds at your own pace. And bring your spine back down to neutral. Extend your right leg to the back of your mat. Push back through that heel. And just rock a few times here as you push back. Draw your right hip down. So lots of times when we take that leg back, we might turn the hip out a little bit. So just draw it back in so your hips are square, facing the front. And then bring your hips back over your knee. Lift that leg up. Bend the knee and flex the foot. Little pushes up. So squeeze the back of that leg. 4, 3, 2, last one. And then let's step that leg to the front, coming into a low lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Maybe looking up, lifting up through the chest and pulling your belly in. Take a breath in here, noticing your belly and that breath in your belly, moving up your body to the back of your throat. And then exhale, leaning forward, bringing your hands down and coming back into table. So let's extend the left leg back this time. Curl the toes under Bringing the ball of your foot onto the mat and really pressing there, and then rocking back and forth. Just let your head hang, let your head be heavy, and your mind be light. And then draw your hips, move your hips back up over that right knee, lift up the back leg. Bend the knee and flex that foot. And then little pushes up here, little squeezes with that glute. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one, and then step that leg forward. Take an inhale as you sweep your arms up. And taking in that deep breath again. So on your next exhale, we're going to hinge forward, bring your hands down. Step that foot back, and we push back into a child's pose. Take a rest here. Check in with yourself. Maybe turn your head side to side, releasing any tension. And then let's walk the hands back. Come to seated and extend your legs out in front. So flex your feet, draw your toes back towards your shins, and then inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, come forward wherever you can reach. You can always bend your knees here. And take one more breath. Release your hands and come all the way back up. So coming into bound angle, Baddha Konasana, we're going to lie down on this one. So go ahead and roll back. Bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your chest. Close your eyes and feel that stretch there on the inner thighs as your knees open to the sides. And we're going to end today with that same breath. This time as you start in the belly with that inhale, just noticing the gentle rise of your fingers, your palm, as your belly presses in and lifts up towards the sky. And then noticing your ribs, your chest lifting up with that left hand. And then exhale that breath out and just notice the slow lowering of your ribs, your heart space, your belly. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And take 2 more rounds of breath just like that. hands to the outsides of your thighs. Lift your knees up to center and bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Roll off to one side. And let's come up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center. Take one more deep, conscious breath in. Breathe it in, biggest breath that you've taken so far this morning. And exhale that breath out. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this gentle practice today. I hope that you were able to forget about time and just take this practice for yourself. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.